Hi, welcome back to the Antisocial podcast. We have an excellent episode this week, but before we get into that, I want to do some housekeeping. First thing I'm going to do is stop saying because editing last week's video was a nightmare for me, purely because I kept saying and like. And that was so annoying for me. So if you see me constantly stopping, or if there's a lot of edits in this video, it's because I'm going to make the conscious decision of not saying after everything I say. Okay, glad we got that out of the way. Second thing is, I filmed this week's episode on Monday. Today's Friday. I'm filming this week's episode still this week because I'm getting surgery done in a few days. On Monday. So wait, let me rework that in my head. Today is Friday. On Monday, so in a few days, I will be getting my wisdom teeth out, which I know is surgery. Yeah, I'm very nervous.
I'm cutting in here to say my surgery was yesterday. I'm drinking a Premier Protein. I'm in so much pain, but it happened. I finished. It's Tuesday. I'm editing this video. Sorry, I can't talk. I'm editing this video to get it up today. I also filmed the whole process, and I'm still filming it, my recovery, but it's so funny. Guys, the shit I was saying under anesthesia, oh, you need to watch. I can't talk. I look horrible. Whatever. Stay tuned. That will be up, but just letting you know I survived. And I'm really swelling. Okay, love you. Enjoy the rest of the podcast as I sit here and suffer.
I've never been put under. I'm extremely nervous. I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah. But let me show you everything I've gotten so far for this surgery, which hasn't been a lot. It's literally just been prescribed stuff that I've had to pick up. 7 medications from CVS. I have been downing vitamin C because I just don't want to get sick, and I work with kids and they're all sick. My family's been having the flu. So I don't want to get sick because I needed to just get the surgery done. And then I also got blood work done a few days ago. This doesn't have to deal with the surgery. I don't know why I'm telling you all my medical information, but I'm actually not going to tell you because I should keep this to myself. I just had to order a crap ton of supplements. So this box is all of my supplements that I needed to order. I was gonna film outside, but I was so cozy in this. This is my Orlando Magic sweatshirt. Never seen an Orlando Magic game, but I live here. I'm wearing pajama pants. It's hot outside. It's still hot outside. I think it's 8 in the morning right now, but let's see the weather. It is 70 degrees at 8 in the morning. So I said, let me film in my room with the cutest little backdrop that I have. My beautiful Christmas tree, my guitar, my wall full of Harry Potter posters and pictures that I have. And then I am wearing glasses, so I'm so sorry you can see the reflection of my room in them. If that bothers you, my apologies. Into today's topic, which is one, again, just like last week's video, I woke up at 2 in the morning, thought of an idea, and was thinking in my little brain, I need to jot this down. So I actually did. I literally jotted this down. My breakfast right now is applesauce before I can go make myself eggs after this episode. Because I woke up and immediately decided to start filming. Could I go get changed and take a nice shower and put on a nice outfit? Absolutely. I'm actually going out to the movies today to go see Regretting You with my friend. And I'm going to dress presentable for that. But no, I feel as if right when I wake up, that's when my thoughts are fresh, even though I'm dehydrated and I have no food in my system and if this is your first episode, hi, welcome. Okay, let's get into it. I've already been recording for 6 minutes. I wonder if it's 3 minutes long, 2 minutes long, because I already know I've had to cut out so much. Today's episode is the importance of female friendships. I have a lot to say on this. That's exactly what I said in the last video, but I genuinely have a lot to say on this as someone who right now in my current life, this could change in a few years. So I'm not going to say forever. I'm not closing myself off to anything. But right now in my current life, I have no close female friendships. And if any of my female friends watch this, I'm sorry. That's really fucking rude. Let me rephrase that actually. I have no female friendships that I feel... Actually, that was really fucking rude that I said that. I'm taking that back. I take fully what I said back. I have close female friendships with a few girls, but I don't have any Sex in the City group of girls. And I think recently I've just been realizing that I want a girlfriend. Not a girlfriend like that, but I want a girl to be my like platonic soulmate and to share all my memories with, and to feel like I have someone to hold me down through anything. And I really don't feel like I have that. I feel like I'm a burden to so many people. And that's something I don't even think I've told my therapist. Low key. I kind of feel upset saying that out loud, but okay, well, I guess we're getting into it today. Let's go way back to when I was younger. I'm going to share the itty gritty details for you guys. I lived on a street with this girl that was my age. We shared the exact same ethnicity. We were both half white, half Hispanic, but she looked so different from me. I am not your traditional Hispanic. Yeah, I'm gonna phrase it that way. A lot of people that aren't Hispanic look at me and they're like, "You're Hispanic?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm Colombian and I'm white. She was Colombian and she was white. I have a white dad and a Colombian mom, her the same. Though the features I had, a lot of people would consider the negative traits of being Hispanic. I don't consider it that, but I was told that when I was younger. I have very hairy arms. Hair, look, I'm outing myself. I don't give a fuck. I did not have a curvy body. I'm like stick thin, which I know that's like a debate. Like, is that good? Is that bad? Not for today. I do have curly hair, which I love. But I just have like very thick hair and I'm very pale. I don't have like the tan skin. She, on the other hand, had no hair on her body. Even at the age of 12 and 11, when hair was just starting, I always noticed this girl had like the thinnest hair. And yes, of course, she'd probably shave it, but I know that's like weird. I'm not going to get into that. She had straight hair, which I was always envious of, like wavy straight. She didn't have curly hair, and curly hair is so hard to maintain because even now, look, it's frizzy. It has a mind of its own. Curly hair people, you know what I'm talking about. She was tan all times of the year. She would tan really beautifully. And I think I was just very envious of her Hispanic traits because she just had it different than I did, but we were the same ethnicity. All that to say, because I just went on that rant for no reason, we lived on the same street, a few houses down, and we had that in common from the start. I remember thinking to myself, this is going to be like the girl next door. This is going to be my best friend. I'm going to meet her, and we're going to go to each other's houses. We're going to have sleepovers. We're going to sneak out together when we're older. This is going to be my best friend. When I tell you, this girl caused insurmountable trauma to my little 5-year-old to 17-year-old self because I moved out of New Jersey when I was 17. She caused me more problems and more things I had to heal from than I would have ever wanted myself to go through. I could cry thinking about it right now because it's horrible. An example is, I think when we were maybe 8, she had a sleepover. Mind you, this was a small fucking town. Like a town that had no high school in it, only an elementary and a middle school connected. Okay, everyone knew everyone. And it's so sad. This story is so sad. In my grade, you knew the same people from pre-K all the way to 8th grade. You knew the exact same people because it was all connected. And it was 40 people in your grade, I think, was the max, or like 42, maybe less. She had a sleepover for her birthday. She invited every girl in the grade but me to her sleepover down the fucking street. And then she sends me a message with a selfie of all the girls and goes, "We're having so much fun at blank sleepover. Oops, sorry, wrong person." I remember, I actually could cry thinking, that shit hurt me so bad, to the point where I started closing myself off from everyone at the age of probably 8, because I think that happened when I was 8. And I started adopting the mindset of, I don't give a fuck if I have no friends because I'm better off alone. I didn't know my emotions were this raw. I have not healed from how fucking mean that girl was and how mean all of those girls were. If you are from a small town, you know, like, it is not cute small town. And trust me, I love a cute small town romance. I'm obsessed with small town romance books. When you grow up in a small town, sometimes it's horrible. It's horrible. Needless to say, I went through it with friends, and I cut myself off from even just attempting to make relationships with friends. And when I did have somewhat of a healthy relationship with friends in middle school or high school, I would self-sabotage a lot. And it wasn't even self-sabotaging of sitting there and doing bad things to them, because I wouldn't necessarily ever do something bad to someone. I still had like a conscience. I would just shut down. It's horrible. I would straight up go to my friends and be like, I don't give a fuck if you leave. I don't give a fuck if you never speak to me again, because I will not speak to you again. And I remember my friends looking at me and going, "Do you have any compassion?" And I'd be like, "No, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Bye." And they'd be like, "Do you care?" And I would be like, "No." That's a little trauma backstory as to why I am the way I am now. There's positives to that though. I love being alone. I've learned to not be codependent. I'm extremely independent, and I love that, and I love my alone time. But I can't lie and say that I don't wish I have girls around me, and I have my girls, I guess. I wish I had girlfriends. I'm just realizing the value of girlfriends and the fact that I don't have it. And I've had great friendships, like here and there, not like a group of girls, but I've had, a great friendship here and a great friendship there. But I've always felt that it's ended on some random, like, it's ended for no reason. These friendships have ended literally for reasons I can't explain. This person has built up kind of like little things that they don't like about me, and they never tell me. They sit here and they think to themselves, "Oh, she's done this. I don't like that, but I'm not going to tell her." And they just build up this hatred towards me, to the moment where I do one tiny thing that's a miscommunication or something that's not big at all. I'll say something wrong or something, and then they'll just snap and end the entire friendship. And I'm left here thinking, you ended a friendship over that when I could have just apologized and spoken to you. You don't even give me a chance to explain myself. 2 friendships that come to mind are, I had one in high school, senior year, where I just moved to Florida. That was a horrible year. A horrible year. I have so many horrible memories from that year. But that's another video. At the beginning of that year, this one girl took me into her friend group. She actually shared the same name as the first girl I told you about from my hometown. So that was red flag number fucking 1. She took me in. She just included me in her friend group, which I was so grateful for, because I didn't know anyone. I was in classes with fucking freshmen. Like, I was going fucking through it. I was finally part of a group. And then one day, she posted on her Snapchat story a photo of her wearing an ugly sweater, like 2-piece set. And I swiped up and I said something like, "Oh, that's interesting, LOL." Like something stupid like that. I was trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was trying to be like, "Oh, that's interesting." Because it was an ugly sweater, like, set. And she flipped the out at me. She was like, "You're calling me fat. You've always thought I've been fat. How dare you? We're not friends anymore." And I genuinely sat here and I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? And I think a few nights prior, we all went to like homecoming together. And I genuinely sat there to myself and I could not fathom what was happening. I truly could not understand what I had done. I was asking her, what did I say? What, I didn't call you fat. And she would just go, "Yes, you did. You think I'm fat. You've always thought I'm fat. And I would say, I never said you were fat. I never, send me a screenshot of where I said you're fat. And she would say, you think I'm fat. And I was like, girl, that's your brain. That, I think, was just her own insecurities. But after she stopped being friends with me, everyone in her group just immediately dropped me. And I was close with a lot of people in her group, but they all just, boom, dropped me because she was like the alpha of the fucking group. So I just ended up losing all my friends. Ate lunch in the school bathroom like a loser dweeb from a movie. I'm not even joking. I ate lunch in the school bathroom because I was so fucking lonely. And that's happened numerous times where I feel as if friends of mine will not speak about what upsets them, and they let it kind of pile up, and then all of a sudden they blow up, and then they end the friendship. Whereas I'm someone who loves to confront people, not in a negative way, but just if they say something that upsets me, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to be like, yo, that was not cool what you just said. And they don't like that a lot of the times. They don't like confrontation. But I think it's better to just like rip off the Band-Aid and get it done. But no one confronts me, and I always tell them, confront me. Yeah, I'm going to be uncomfortable when you confront me, but it's going to save us what I go through so often. And of course, I've had friendships end for valid reasons of me being a shitty friend. That's happened before. I'm not naive to that. I'm not saying that's never happened. It's happened before. But I've also had my fair share of friendships that have ended for virtually no reason. And I truly think it's also because of my mindset, because I sit here and I say all my friendships end for no reason. So of course, words have power and they come into your existence. A really long intro to explain my trauma with friends. I need a sip of my applesauce. I'm so out of breath right now, and I need like liquid. No, I need water, actually. Just like last episode. Some ASMR for you. I'm so sorry. When I was talking to my therapist about my friends, I low-key lied to her. Sorry, girl. And she asked me why I don't have a lot of friendships. And I said it's because I don't have time for them. Which is true. I've gotten on that fuck-ass Bumble BFF app, try to make friends, and I've had made friends. They didn't stick. And then I kind of just stopped getting on that app because I just am very busy, and the time I'm not busy, I'd rather spend it with my parents. That is my excuse. Like, that's the excuse I told my therapist, which is a valid excuse, but it also is an excuse. And I do feel like essentially it is a lie, but I also think I'm trying to avoid these friendships out of fear that, like, they're gonna walk away again from me, and I am gonna have to like adopt that mindset of I don't care, walk away because I'm better off alone. I also read a quote recently that, or maybe it wasn't a quote, it was just I read from someone that they said that friendships and relationships are some of the best things you can have in life. They're the meaning of life, to have relationships, to have close, great friendships that you build. And it made me really reflect and think, because I don't have a lot of those. I really don't have any besides my family. And I think the closest friendships I've had that I really love and cherish, they've taken so long to build, and they've taken a lot of work on my end. And ones that I really care about have ended, and I've grown a lot from them. I've seen my mistakes. And I have tried to reach out to these people and apologize for what I've done. And I think a lot of these people either don't give a fuck about my apology, even though I do see it as a two-way street. Like, you did something to hurt me. I clearly did something to hurt you. We may disagree on like what we did to each other, but I'm going to go out of my way and apologize to you because what our friendship ended over was silly and it was stupid. And the good times overshadow the bad times, in my opinion. And so here's my apology. I did that recently. I kind of went to a few people and I was like, you know what? Let me apologize, just because I don't want to be your friend again. We're in so different spots than where we started with our friendship, but I'm going to apologize to you purely because I'm sorry for what I did. You know, it's been hanging over me, and I hope you know that I don't feel ill will towards you. And then I'll go and apologize to these people, and they'll literally just be like, thanks for your apology. And I'm like, okay. I have to make peace with the fact that they're not going to fucking apologize back, because they probably don't fucking feel bad for the shit that they've said to me. This is me outing all my fucking friendship shit, but there were these two girls that I met through Bumble BFF that I did fuck up in that friendship. I was in a bad spot, but that's not an excuse. But I was in a bad spot. Hey, let me just like try to defend myself a little bit. I think I talked bad about them to each other, which is so low of me. Like, I understand that. I should not have done that because I hate people that do that. And I typically don't ever fucking gossip or do that. I'm so against that. But at that time, I was so depressed. I was trying so many different migraine medications. My weight was at an all-time high. I was so unhealthy. My doctor was telling me I needed all these blood tests. I was in between jobs. I was very fucking low in my life. And so I took it out on these girls that were my friends. I think I tried to make myself feel better because I told myself at the time, oh, I'm just venting to each person about the other person. And then they would vent to me. Still not a good thing. Don't fucking do that because it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, which it did with me. One of the girls had a party. She had been planning for a while for her sister, and the day of the party, I couldn't show up because I had a horrible migraine. She also lived an hour away from me. I couldn't make that drive. Like, I was so sick, I could not make that drive. And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm taking all this medication, but I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I can't do this to myself. I can't go to your party. She thought it was an excuse, I think. And so she just kind of flipped out on me. And I understand why she was upset. She wanted me to show up or something. I don't know. But the other girl went to the party. They got to talking. And they found out I had been not talking kindly about the other to the other. And essentially, they both dropped me. That was a wake-up call for me to be like, don't fucking do that. And I felt so bad. And I tried to apologize to them in the moment. But I was like, yo, like, you fucked up. You fucked up. When they ended that friendship, they said some nasty shit to me. I vented about them. I will say that. I vented about them, about petty shit. Like, oh, she said this. Like, oh, that was so annoying. But I'm telling you, when they ended that friendship, they fucking said some shit. And I read that shit and I was like, oh my God. Like, it was so rude what they said, but I'm going to chalk it up to the fact that they were hurt. But yeah, that's an example of I went and apologized to those girls, and one of the girls actually hit me up. I saw that they both read my messages at the same time and didn't respond until 30 minutes later, and then they both responded at the same time, and I was like, that's a little weird that they're probably talking about me and debating on whether or not they want to fucking respond. I don't know, it just felt weird that they didn't have their own agency, I guess. Like, hello, I'm responding to each of you individually with like individualized personal messages of me responding or of me apologizing to you individually. But regardless, I apologized. And one of the girls actually was like, thank you for your apology. Hope you're doing well. Because I said, hope you're doing well. And she was like, hope you're doing well. And I said, thank you. And then she hit me up like maybe an hour later, I think, and was like, I'm also sorry for the mean thing I said. And I was like, you know what, water under the bridge, you're good, thanks. The other girl was just like, thanks. And I was like, okay. You know, at least I apologized. I'm glad I apologized. It's really good for me. You guys don't know my growth with being able to apologize, because back then it was hard for me to apologize. I could not do it. Apology was never in my blood. The fact that I actually can just take my ego and shove it in the wall and say, shut the fuck up, it's my turn, and now apologize is truly growth. I actually am so proud of myself that I can do it. And even if they don't apologize back, which low-key is a little like, really? But you know what? I started it, I guess, by venting about you guys. I'm still working on it. I'm still healing. I'm still trying to work on it. I also think I'm a little nostalgic for old friendships because I don't have a best friend. I have a good chunk of guy friends, but guy friends are not the fucking same. Guy friends will not be your girls. They just don't get it. They don't get it like girls. And I don't have any gay best friends, unfortunately. I am saying unfortunately because I fucking love gay people. Is that weird to say? I don't think so. And I'm gonna be honest, I hope this isn't rude, but like, I've met some great gay people that I love to death. And then I've met some gay people that literally have made me feel so shitty about myself. Like, they're so mean. And I'm like, why are you so mean? You're actually telling me my biggest insecurities about myself. What the fuck? But when I say guy friends, I don't mean the gays. I love the gays. But like the straight males, I have some straight male friends, but genuinely, like, haven't even been maintaining those friendships that much because they low-key all got girlfriends, and they've stopped talking to all their female friends when they get girlfriends, and it's just like you don't even care to maintain those friendships anymore because like why? If you don't care to maintain it, I don't fucking care to compete with your girlfriend that you're gonna break up with in a year or a few months, you know what I mean? But I did have this best friend once who we had a falling out. We had a really bad falling out, and we stopped being friends in 2023, and she was like my platonic soulmate. And that was, I think, a big reason as to why we fell out, was because she thought I saw her as a boyfriend because I wanted to share every part of my life with her, genuinely. And I could see how that's so overbearing of me. But when I first met her, we were such an unlikely pair too. I was like night and she was day. Like she was like the sun to me. She would always wear pink and like yellows, and I was like black and dark green, and we just matched so well. She was afraid to get out of her shell and like be embarrassing, and I was always so embarrassing and like don't give a fuck. And then she started not giving a fuck, and we just complimented each other so well to the point where she saved me in ways she will never know. And it makes me so sad because we are not friends anymore. And this was the girl that was my best fucking friend. I never felt like I had a best friend until I met this girl. And that's all I've ever wanted in my life. Ever since I was younger, I would tell my mom, I'm literally gonna cry again. I would tell my mom that my mom was my best friend. And then I would tell my mom, until I meet someone else, you're my best friend. And then I met this girl, and then she was my best friend. And we're not best friends anymore. It makes me so sad to this day because it wasn't like our falling out was over something stupid. It was over something like so big. She did a lot of bad things, a lot of immature bad things that I really would never do and I would never agree with. And she said some really horrible things to me that I would never say to her. And I shut down again. I remember when she finally admitted everything she felt about me, because again, she kept it all in, and then one day she just let it all rip. I just was like, you can't come back from this. I had no emotion, and that made her even angrier at me. She kind of didn't know what to do with it. She broke. She was like, what do you mean you don't care? Like, you're just gonna drop me over how I feel? And I was like, yeah, you felt this the entire time we were fucking friends. I think I deadass told her, I was like, you deserve to go to heaven for the way you fucking feel about me, for having to put up with my bullshit this entire time. If you felt like you've hated me this entire time, like this is the way you felt about our friendship, and I've been sitting here feeling like I've loved you, and genuinely, I'm telling you this as a fully straight woman, I loved this girl. Like, to death, I would have taken a bullet for this girl. I've never felt that way for anyone, and it hurt so bad that we ended. It was worse than any heartbreak I've ever felt, hunched over, sobbing. I would never wish that upon anyone, feeling those feelings. Needless to say, now, 2 years later, we ended our friendship 2023, like October 2023. Now it's November 2025. I'm still upset by how our friendship ended, but I miss her all the time. I think about her every so often, and I did reach out to her, even though this bitch blocked me on everything except for Instagram. But this bitch literally had my number blocked. She had me blocked on Snapchat. I was like, and I don't even use Snapchat. I'd never use Snapchat. She fucking blocked me. I was like, are you joking me? After what you said about me? Regardless of that, I was just like, damn. But I reached out, and I didn't even send a message. I sent an audio message. I don't even know if she responded. I'm low-key afraid to check. But I was just like, hey, I just want you to know that I miss you. I hope you're doing well, and I don't hold anything you said against me, even though that shit hurt like a bitch. Like, if you guys knew what she said, wow. I remember reading that shit in my, like, in the other house I lived in, and being like everything's a lie. Everything was a lie. Like, our entire friendship's a fucking lie. All the memories we shared in high school before I moved, every time we hung out. I went to New Jersey and I stayed with her. That was my first time ever being on a plane, and then I stayed with her. It just felt fucking horrible reading that shit. But I guess I loved her so much that it kind of, like, all the good times, and this is what I told her, all the good times overshadowed that. Like all the positive memories, all the shit she knows about me, all the shit I know about her. It just overshadows it for me. I'm in such a lack of female friendships right now, especially in my family where my sister has all of her friends, so she's not really seeking relationship with me. We hang out, and she's my sister, of course. I love her to death. She's in high school and she's hanging out with her friends way more than she's even fucking home. My mom and I are close, but it's my mom, you know? Like, I love her to death, but she hangs out with my dad. You know, they're best friends. And I've never grown up seeing female friendships. So I just realized I don't need female friendships. Or I think that's what I used to realize was I don't need female friendships. And I think books and movies and TV shows have really shown me the importance of good female friendships and how your girls will be there and your good girlfriends will be there for you no matter what. They will tell you if something's wrong. They will put you in your place. They will go anywhere with you. They will go to your house. They will take a flight for you. They will call you and stay up with you for hours upon hours. Those girls will be with you far longer than a man ever fucking would. And I didn't learn that through experience necessarily. I learned that through television, movies, literature. I learned that through media. And I just am in such a lack of it in my normal life, in my actual reality, that I miss it. I want it. I don't even want a boyfriend. I've never really cared to have a boyfriend because I don't even have friendships like that. And I want them so bad. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. I want to take trips, places. And of course, I would love to go alone. And I love to go with family. And when I do take trips, I usually just go with family or I go with my beautiful aunt. But when I can't go with my aunt and I can't go with my family, I have no one to go with. I have no female friends to go with. And I know this was very negative. I do have female friendships that I love. There are a few. I'll even list their names. I don't think they watch my videos, but that's fine. That sounded so passive aggressive. No, they don't watch my videos, I don't think. And that's totally fine. I love them to death. There are a few from high school that have lasted since freshman year of high school, and I think they will last forever. One girl, her name is Anya. Love her to death. This girl, we have gone through our breakups. We have gone through trials and tribulations, and she's my rock. We cannot talk for months, and then we'll pick up right where we left off. She is a beautiful human. I love her to death. I've had ones from middle school. I just don't think I've had any since I've moved here to Florida, and it's been years, and I don't think I've had any actual stable ones that have been fulfilling for me. And it's really sad because there's also so much I want to do here in Florida before I leave. And ever since I was a little girl, I've wanted to move here, and I've had so much in my mind of, I'm going to move here and I'm going to make so many friends and we're going to go to Universal together and we're going to go to Disney together. And I haven't really been able to do any of that with friends because I don't have any fucking friends here. And when I put myself out there to make friends, it usually ends. And I'm left here questioning what I did wrong over and over and over again. And I have to constantly remind myself that even if I did something wrong, my constant want to try and fix it, at least now in my life, I think overshadows what I did wrong. Me constantly going to that person after the friendship or when the friendship's ending and me asking them, what can we do to fix this? Hey, let's talk about it. Hey, what did I do that made you so upset? And them just fully not being receptive towards it, or them not caring, or them telling me to fully fuck off is not something on me. I just don't understand. It's either I'm not seeing it or it's really not something with me, because I can admit when I'm wrong. I've admitted it in this video. I've admitted it to the person. I've admitted it when I talk to my parents about it, when I've talked to my therapist about it. I fully have admitted it, where I'm like, I can understand if I fucked up, if I've said something wrong, if I've made a mean comment. I've never done anything like gotten with a girl's guy or, like stolen a friend or done anything like over the line. I've never done anything like that because I have a guilty conscience, and I wasn't raised like that. And I'm like a goody two shoes. Like I'd never do anything like that. But if I have fucking said some mean shit and I've been told about it, I fucking said sorry. I've reached and I've been like, I'm sorry. What else can I do? And if these people just aren't receptive towards it, there's nothing else I can do. There's literally nothing else I can do. And therefore, I've tried. And I think that's why for so long, you just stop fucking trying. You just stop caring. You just sit here and you're like, I'm better off alone. I'm better off not dealing with this drama. I have enough crap going on in my life of graduating 2 years early. I have all these medical appointments going on. I'm working 2 fucking jobs. I have family shit going on. Why would I willingly put myself towards, hey, look, a 5th thing, friendship drama, let alone boyfriend drama? Why would I ever do that when I can sit in my room and read a fucking book and relax? I barely have time to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Needless to say. Needless to fucking say. I miss having female friendships, and I know they will come. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm a lost cause, I'll never have female friendships. I know I'll get them. Maybe they're not here in Florida. Maybe they are, and I just don't know where they are. I did make myself a promise that once I graduate, I will be putting myself out there more with friendships. Right now, really, I just can't. I'm so busy. That really is not an excuse. I am so incredibly busy. And even now that I'm busy, I'm going out to the movies with one of my old friends from high school. She's down here right now, and we're going to go see Regretting You very soon. I really have to wrap up this podcast. And then tomorrow, I got invited to go to a football game. I go to UCF, have not gone to a single football game the entirety of the time I've been to college here because I've had no friends to go with. Finally, I've asked this girl numerous times, and she's been busy and I've been busy. And then finally, she asked me. I think I asked her to do something else with me, and she said she was busy, and then she was like, but there's a football game. And I was like, period. Let's go do that. So I'm doing that tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm going to Universal with my mom to go hang out with her right before Monday, my surgery. I think also female friendships are very competitive, and that's something I have to fix in my head. In high school, they're very competitive. It's always like over a guy or over who's the best dressed or whatever. And now as I'm getting older, it doesn't have to be that way. And I have to train my mind to realize it's not a competition. And it's not that I'm comparing myself to these people. It's that I think they're comparing themselves to me. I feel as if they look at me and they think it's a competition. And therefore, I kind of get very uncomfortable. And so that's a whole other thing that we don't even need to get into right now because I could talk on and on about that. Good female friendships, I realized, are about support. They're not about competition. They're not about comparison. And I need to find those people. I don't know where they are. I don't know where my girls are. They're somewhere. I'm excited to meet them. I'm only 20. I'm graduating before I'm even 21. I could meet my female best friends when I'm 25. So I'm not even worried. I think right now I'm just like, ugh, I want to meet you guys soon, Well, I think that's it for this video. I really could go on and on about this topic. Truly, 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 truly. My closing thoughts on this. Please, please, please don't fuck up your female friendships. Keep your female friendships so, so close to your chest because those will save you over any man ever. I promise you that. Your girls will be there till the day you fucking die. They will be at your wedding. They will be at your divorce hearing. They will take care of your kids better than a man fucking would. Honestly, they will sit up on the phone with you listening to anything you have to complain about, rant about, talk about. It doesn't matter. They will come over when you need them. They will do anything for you if they are good female friends. I value female friendships so much. You need your girls. I will find mine one day. I don't know where the fuck they are. It's okay. The female friends that I do have right now, I do love them and I want them to grow. And I really regret what I say at the beginning of this video of me being like, I don't have any female friends. Or maybe I didn't say that. I said I don't have any like close ones. That's not true. I do. But I think I was thinking very negatively. And this video was kind of low-key negative. But I do have female friends. And I think I just wish I had more of them or more of a group. More of like a tight-knit like girls group that I share community with, because most of my experiences have been really negative with female friends, and I really need to rewire that pathway, that neuro pathway, that's whatever's going on. I don't know. All right. I love you all. New videos every week. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. I'll see you all. Wish me luck on my surgery. Actually, this might be uploaded after my surgery because I filmed it so that I can edit it post-op. I think I'm going to record it as well. I'm going to record the surgery, even though big ass signs in the office saying, do not record. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. Okay, I love you all. See you next week. Bye.